This episode of Reactions Line is brought to you by, yet again, themusicnerd.com. Yes, more shameless self-promotion. We'll be with you shortly. Actually, why not? We'll be with you now! Hello and welcome to Reactions Line. I'm Adrian Davis. This is Thomas Holdsworth. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
I should say your name without slurring.
Thomas Holdsworth.
That's much better. Thomas and I go way back to Southern Cross University, where he now looks much more like what I recognise compared to your Facebook photos, which is shorn head and no beard. And
it was under a hat. I just didn't have a beard at the time. When I was in Africa, one of the locals burnt a lot of it off. That's a very long story.
What? Okay, we will come back to Africa because we had some wonderful things. We had some wonderful pre-show banter about the state of Africa's, I guess you could call it, internet economy, which is just I'm fascinated to hear about. We will be opening up the lines tonight. If you don't know already, you can also join us live via video. We have that hangout sitting in the link below, and you can join in. I will open the lines because it's just hilarious to have it more on the stream and more crazy. Okay, that's done its thing. So tonight's topic, something close to my heart.
The current state of the national bro.
The current state of the... Did I fix it? Fixed it. The current state of the National Broadband Network. Oh, man, this is fascinating. And why would I not bring in a better expert than yourself to actually talk about this? Mainly because you've been following it closely and you just get it, whereas I'm kind of around the peripheral of the topic.
I should probably say I can't wait to get it because I don't have the NBN where I live. As they've been saying for years now, you can put your address into the website.
And we will do that tonight as well.
It will tell you.
You've just reminded me, I really should open up another page just so I can sit here and just see. We might as well take your request as well later tonight and just see where your address is. I will go to that page right now, nbn.co.
I will give you my approximate address.
A block away, perhaps. Oh, no, nbn.co's gone?
nbnco.com.au. Not NBN. Yeah,
but it used to be nbn.co.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
I don't remember that at all.
That is absolutely hilarious. So let me find the right screen. Let me adjust everything because, of course, this is fly by the seat of your pants, as people now know. Should be just about there. So here we are. We are on the state of the NBN, and there's a lot of things we will talk about. And look at this wonderful thing, a dual screen video conference with people drawing on the screen in front of them. How very, very modern. An NBN.
You've got the NBN, so
I
we're
do.
doing all of this tonight, right?
This is only possible thanks to the NBN. We're using a whole 16 to 20 megabits up, which is unheard of because we're going to 2 Facebook pages, a Twitch stream, and a YouTube stream. This could be done through a server at a AWS or Azure or something like that, but we're doing it here. We are on the choice of speeds for your network, NBN 100 for this, but let's throw in an approximate address.
Okay, let's go with Dulwich Hill, because I live next to that suburb.
There is Dulwich Hill. Check home. Let's see what it says.
Oh, home is different to business. Yeah, that'll about do. Is that Canterbury Road there? I'm sort of close to that. Yeah, between the trains and
So
Canterbury Road.
why is it not letting me select it? Okay, let's just go here.
There, yeah, let's check that person's home.
Let's see what it says. The rollout of is planned in this area. Hang on, hybrid fiber coaxial?
Hybrid fiber coax.
No, I'm sorry, but when I was sold the NBN, when they were talking about the NBN, we saw the wonderful thing that was fiber to the home. The whole idea that the whole premise that fiber optic cables, they don't disintegrate quite the same as copper. They disintegrate in a different way. Probably about 50 years or so, they'll start breaking down and get a bit special. But you just lose some attenuation along the way. Fair enough. The fact that you could change over the endpoints and go from a 100 meg circuit to a gigabit circuit to a 10 gigabit circuit to whatever we come up, a petabit circuit in the future, much more easily than copper, which degrades over time and has physical limits to the electrons passing through. But this is saying hybrid fiber coaxial. Coax is copper.
Well, Adrian, we've got until 2020 to get all of this installed, and we only put the copper in 20 years ago. From what you're saying there, we've still got another good 30 years out of it.
And here is the problem, and I'm sure that if you've seen, there are the pit horrors. What was it? NBN copper pit horror.
Oh, this is a picture, isn't it?
It is a very picture.
Yes.
So to give you some idea, and I'll try and center it up, here's the current state of some of our copper pits, just there, showing some of the disgrace and destruction of those pits and why a copper-based NBN solution is not necessarily the best idea. But I'm getting completely off track here, Thomas. So NBN is no longer fiber to the home only.
No, that's what we heard quite some time ago. I guess there was a lot of back and forth, and there has been with the different governments coming into effect. The one that said we'd do it, the one that said we'd continue to do it. They're still doing it. It's a private company doing it, and that's the way we do things in Australia. So we've got a deadline for them to get it done by. That's 2020, or a deadline for them to have service to a certain percentage. No, wait, I think that's everybody. But an average connection speed to everybody. And I think they're aiming at about 8 million customers, 8 million subscribers to the NBN network, paying them money for that service so that they can, 1, begin to pay back what they need to pay back to the government, and 2, generate roughly, I think it was 5 billion in revenue annually.
Per year.
If everything is on track.
Wow. Okay, so a couple of things that you've touched on there, which I find absolutely fascinating. The fact that they're looking at definitely a user base of 8 million customers. This is a private network that, again, the wholesalers utilize, I guess, to kind of give you connection to the rest of the world. The network itself is based within Australia. Payback to the government. So NBN's now private. It used to be NBN.co, which was a government-owned entity. It's now privatized. You said that they have to pay back money to the government.
Oh, yes. Well,
so did the government just give them a shit ton of money to start developing the NBN, or how did that? Are you aware of that change?
I'm not 100% aware of roughly when it changed, but I don't know all of the ins and outs, the numbers and so forth.
But you're more versed than I am, hence why you're here.
There was a press release here that I was having a bit of a look through. Sorry, it was 5 billion per year. Is that what I said?
Yep, 5 billion per year.
This was published March 8th. Moreover, as long as we get 8 million premises activated on the NBN network by 2020, something we can only do by deploying fiber to the node, we will be generating $5 billion per year in annual revenues. So we will be in a better position to finance upgrades from fiber to the node to fiber to the curb without relying on taxpayers.
See, fiber to the curb's more interesting to me. So we've got fiber to the home, so everything's right to the house. Happy days. Thank you very much. Fiber to the curb, it's just out front. I've got to pay the last half a mile, if it was, to get that connected to my house. So a few $100, happy days, I'm connected, there we go. But it'd be nice if I could choose if it was fiber to the curb or if it was fiber to the node. So this mixed modes of technology, and you touched on this before, there's a deadline that the NBN Co have to hit.
Promises, budgets, and deadlines.
Yep. And that's what's really caused a lot of this stuff to kind of get out of control, and mixed modes of technologies trying to find a better way of doing it and a faster way of doing it. I think we can all acknowledge up front that fiber to the home, or fiber as a technology solution, is a much nicer technology. You can upgrade the endpoints, get faster speeds, as we were talking about before. It's not limited by the interim hardware that fiber to the node has, but it's more costly to deploy.
Well, I think they covered a fair bit of that in this press release here.
Shall we bring up the press release on the screen that we can both then read off? Which one was it?
Absolutely.
It's, what's the name of it?
I'm just chucking into Google.
Yeah.
NBN Co. Setting the facts straight.
Oh, this is going to be fun because I haven't read this before. Don't forget, after this little first side of the segment, we will...
NBN Co have all the power to shut us down, but they did put this on their own website. I just think it sounds a little bit snarky at the start, personally.
Okay, I'm recording, so we can publish this later. If you've just joined us, welcome to Reactions Line. It's a crazy show about all kinds of different things. Here we go. Setting this fact straight about fiber to the node. And the NBN rollout is very complex, blah, blah, blah. What are some of your favourite excerpts in there?
Okay.
So they talk about what this actually is. So it's about getting fibre to a node, which then is a fibre distribution point, which then turns into a big power guzzling box with battery backups. And hang on, did I just see a photo of... Oh, I did! What's interesting there... I could be wrong, but that definitely looks like sealed lead acid batteries. Just a nice little tidbit.
Great expert on batteries.
They have acid in them and have lead in them. Anyway.
But yes, to answer your question there, as if I worked for NBN Co, which I certainly don't, we are very much designing the network with future upgrades in mind.
Really?
Well, we're going to make money out of this.
Hang on.
And then we can make it...
But this is a thing from the government to the people. This is a great gift to enable industry to thrive and to boost the economy, to allow people to not have to live in the city in order to communicate in real time and be part of... No?
Well, you'll find that what happens is these businesses just do whatever they want, and they're generally not giving enough money to the government in order for us to continue to do this. Right. So we had this great industry that used to be run by the government, and then we thought, oh, we'll sell that off. We'll make it privatized.
So Telstra.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yep. We ended up with Telstra.
Yep.
And
the marketing giant that is Telstra,
and
that also sells phone services.
Let's go back to when we first met.
Yep.
What was the internet like back then?
Terrible.
And who provided it?
Well, it was Telstra, or it was Optus.
For the most part,
or Optus. Yep. And it was $130 a month for 512 internet, so half a megabit in both directions. Or if you were a regular person, I was not a regular person, you'd get a meg down, quarter of a meg up, 128 kilobits, and you'd pay $60 a month for 10 gigabytes, 20 gigabytes.
Sounds about right. These days I'm with IINet.
Yep.
We don't have the NBN. We get probably about 50% better than that at the moment. I'll get 1.5 down, sometimes 2.
Oh, man.
Depends on the traffic. It'll go down as low as 0.2, 0.3.
And that's around Dulwich Hill.
That's in the Dulwich Hill area. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and my lovely wife who sometimes joins me on this stream, didn't realize the difference of having fast network until she went home. So we're a bit on fiber for quite some time now. She went home to her parents who are on Optus cable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's 50 meg down, it's 2 meg up, it's a great service. And she's like, why is my computer slow?
Yeah.
Like that immediacy that you get with low ping times and just great throughput means you can watch TV from the internet. You can watch whatever you want, whenever you want. This stuff is enabled for the crazy people. Connecting with my parents at home who are about to be connected to NBN in Tamworth will be a much better, more seamless experience, helping them with their computer while video chatting with them.
When do your parents get it?
Late this year.
Late this year. Okay, that's about the same as me.
Yep.
I hope they're going to be using it as well as I.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be using it.
Oh, look, well, if I had it already, I wouldn't be sitting here. I guess that's one great thing.
That's true.
We're still getting closer together. We're not being pushed apart. But you don't need to see your parents up in Tamworth.
I do, because
just get a live video. Look, it's
exactly. Don't need to go up there. It's up there. It's on
get a widescreen, pop it on its side. You can be there in the living room with it.
It's true. I've done that before. That's another whole story. But so the NBN, it promises to give us 25 meg down, 5 meg up to the majority of the users by 2020, right?
Yes.
That's the general consensus.
That's my understanding.
But if we had that in 2020, we would be near the bottom of the global internet infrastructure scale.
Where are we now?
Where are we now? That's a really good question.
Last year we dropped from 30th down to 60th. That's how up to date I am. We're not in the top 10. You can mostly only find lists of the top 10.
What?
Apparently our average connection speed, though, is 7.2 megabits, which 72% of users have access to, which might be right as far as business goes. I've worked in some old, businesses which work out of old government offices, which could get really great speeds.
Oh, hang on.
Singapore is off the charts.
Singapore is just
they're insane.
Can I make this bigger so everyone can see this? Yeah. So average internet speeds around the world. This is from the Internet Society website where they show you a whole map. I will make the whole map visible as best as possible, or not because reasons.
We've got Romania, but if we pull up to the top
here we
two,
go. 97 meg down. This is average speed. Average speeds, not exceptional speeds.
And look at this advantage for still being part of the Commonwealth.
That is enough. Whole conversation. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, Romania, 62. So hang on. We did a little test just before because I'm supposed to be getting 140 and I got like 30 something. So I'm down here with France at number 13. Hang on, I haven't even seen Australia yet.
Oh, no.
United States, 32 meg down, 10 meg up. That's fair enough. Austria, 20. Oh, no, it's not Australia. China, New Zealand.
We worth it. Or maybe that was a mistake. Maybe we were never 30th and it was Austria all along.
46!
We've gone up! 16!
With average speed of 3.8 meg up. No one gets 3.8 meg up unless you're on cable.
I've worked for businesses that are on cable.
Oh, well, it's okay. We're not as bad as Serbia or Turkey. Hang on. Let's go up. Oh, this is a fun thing. Okay.
Now, we are 10th for internet penetration.
Okay.
9th or 10th, 90% of Australians have access to the internet.
Wow.
We're up in the top for that. Just what we're getting isn't so great.
That is availability of fixed broadband. I'm curious where we land on that. Oh, we're nowhere. We have expensive internet. So it's expensive, and we have crap internet, 24th.
Goodness me, it's expensive.
Oh, my Lord. Well, China, that's where I've got to move and have censored internet and be happy. Anyway, that's that side of things. So obviously NBN is run as a business. The whole idea is that it's going to not so much stimulate the economy in the way that I thought, which was by business-to-business communication and building new industry through network connectivity, but by pumping $5 billion of revenue back into the government. Now, when NBN has delivered this product, is it then owned by the government? Is that your understanding?
I don't rightly know. Once they've paid them back, they're just part of the competitive structure of private businesses that we have out there, right?
So
who's going to be competing with
is that
NBN Co?
is that kind of what Telecom Australia was all about? But there's no competition, but that was government owned.
It was.
But this is not government owned.
This is not government owned.
So the pricing that we're getting at the moment, if we are to hypothetically posit a few ideas, could it be possible that the price of the internet is alluring to everyone to get on to NBN, and then all of a sudden it's a monopoly and up it goes?
Well, it's more of a levy than a tax. It's a service that's being provided, you know.
But that's $5 billion if 8 million people are online with NBN paying for services.
Above, I guess, infrastructure running costs, that's what it's meant to pump back into the government. Yes.
Wow.
That's what's projected.
That's unbelievable.
We know economists are famous for fluffing things, but
yes, they most certainly are. Whole heap of people saying hello and joining in. Obviously, just people saying some interesting things tonight. Okay, there's nothing much on that. No voicemails for tonight, by the way, and no emails, which is a bit of a shame. That's not the most interesting thing we had in offline discussion. The most interesting thing we had in offline discussion was the state of internet in Africa.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Hang on, where was that on the map? Shall we bring that back up and just have a
lower than us overall?
Lower than us?
Yes. I guess in terms of penetration, lower. In terms of affordability, I'm interested to see.
Yep.
But because there is such a massive difference there in terms of, I guess the amount of money that people make. I forget the name of the index that's on.
Yep.
There's quite a difference. Whereas Australia is. What are we going here for? Let's pop down the bottom, down to South Africa. That's like South Africa being the most developed.
Yep.
90 seconds. Yep.
Okay.
So that's the average download speed.
Okay. That's better than most people get here. You were saying you get like 2 meg down.
Yep.
Best of it's terrible. Affordability is what we're going to look at, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ooh, that's... I kind of just want to see this quickly. Who has the most... Oh, of course. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we have a shitload of IPv4. Wow, 48 million IPv4. Wow.
Oh, look, we're on there. We're just bogging it all down for ourselves. It's our own fault.
Sorry, IPv6 all the way. Sorry. Affordability for fixed broadband. 63rd in the world versus our 24th. There you go. $50 average US per month versus 17. What?
Yeah, okay. It's a lot cheaper. There we go.
It's a lot cheaper. That's like under half price. It's almost a third of the price.
But I'll tell you what, we pay a lot for a lot of things here.
Yep.
And I drank a lot of beers for $2 over in South Africa.
Yep. How are the beers?
Oh, God. Like, for every day was over 30 degrees. It didn't rain, but goodness me, my throat was wet all the time. The biggest wine producer. I'm a big lover of wine.
We'll
I stayed in Dubai
later.
for a week on my way back, which dried me out again.
Yep, that'll do that. That's a great dry continent to just bump into and just go, oh, I just can't drink here at all, ever.
Yeah.
Because I'll get killed. But Africa, you were saying one of the more interesting sides of things is we have advertisement for phone and internet providers here. Over there, it's a little bit different. So how does say, Voda Telecom advertise in Africa?
As soon as I flew into South Africa, I got myself a Vodacom SIM card. In Australia, we pair that straight up with Vodafone and think this is probably rubbish. But it was the only thing that I could find there at the airport. But as soon as I stepped out, I found immediately there are quite a few mobile network providers all over Africa, because they had ads absolutely everywhere. And the places that they had them, they would have great big billboards, but they'd also have really curious things. As I was talking about, there's a lot of, I guess, people who aren't so well off in a lot of the African Union countries. And, there's a little map there of Vodacom Group's coverage in Africa.
I'm going to find, is that a fair...
That's
No,
a
we're getting there.
fair idea of it. Okay. Are we seeing any of this on the screen? We're seeing these
We
great
are.
big Vodacom logos. Now imagine you're picking your way through a village in South Africa. Let's say we're on the outskirts of Mossel Bay, down in the south, Mussel Bay.
Yep.
And on the outskirts there, there's, as far as the eye can see, corrugated iron and brick buildings. And then one stands out. It's just bright red with an enormous Vodacom logo on the side of it. It's a great big box, just like that. It's rendered like nothing else
So let's have a look at this. So if we can I open this photo?
Yeah, and that might be, say, the local pub.
Oh, what? So it's not like a place that sells the SIMs necessarily.
It could just be a canteen. No, they don't sell the SIM cards. Now, bear in mind, old women will sit at tables in the street selling the SIM cards, but so there'll be market stores with vegetables and jewelry and little old ladies selling
Vodacom.
phone credit. Because
Wow.
it's just bizarre over there. You know, that so many people have mobile phones in Africa. And what I was going to say is that if I wasn't actually here in the studio tonight, I would be joining you via the 4G network.
That's right.
Because that's the only way I can do it in Australia at the moment.
It's
I
very
base
true.
most things on the 3G, now the 4G network.
Yep.
That's how I do most of my personal business.
Yep.
And by God, that's even more expensive.
Isn't it just? Yeah. What is it? $15 a gigabyte roughly is your average price for 4G internet in Australia.
Yeah, that's
Is
it.
$15 for
I'm
you or
at
15
about
per
10
10?
if I exceed my contract limit. I'm prepaid. Oh, sorry, postpaid.
Yep.
But yeah, I was talking about
postpaid 22, never giving it up.
I became familiar with Uganda through social media work, where I noticed that this one Facebook page I was following had an astronomical explosion in the number of people liking that page. And I did some analytics on it and found that they were most popular, and bear in mind this is a video game, they were most popular in Kampala, Uganda.
What? What?
And what I found out is that Uganda has more mobile phones per capita than any other nation in the world. And the reason for that mainly is, well, first of all, the reason that page had so many likes is because there's a booming industry over there, apparently. Maybe not booming so much these days as advertising revenue goes down, but of like farms.
Oh, yeah. So you can actually, that's right.
You've got 3 phones, you've got 3 Facebook accounts, you press like, you can make a penny.
So hang on, 3 phones per person?
I don't think it was quite 3, but there are apparently 3 primary network providers over there, and depending on what part of the country you're in, you'll only be able to get access to one tower or the other. It's not a huge country.
So it's like the old Telstra Optus in Australia, where Telstra would have all the outback and Optus would be great in the city, and then that's about it.
Yes, yeah, but there's 3 separate little forts, and they're pretty equidistant over there. So
wow. So in order to do business, you have to have a cell with pretty much each one of those if you're traveling around as a traveling salesperson, traveling business person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
You'll know what part of the country, and if you can't read the signs, by what colour the pubs are painted, because the local network provider is splashed all over the place.
That's crazy. Just to think that they're actually, but that must be good for the pubs over there, because all of a sudden they're getting a facelift to their pub.
That's it. It would just be a cinder block building. It might be painted, it might be decorated, but every one of them is branded.
Wow.
And it's mostly telcos that do it.
That is just,
there's the odd insurance or security company or brands of beer were a big one in Rwanda.
Really?
Oh God, the land of 1,000 hills and a million smiles. They're very happy drunk people over there. We are getting a little off topic with the NBN.
Yeah, exactly. But
they've got a national banana beer network, I'll tell you.
Oh, banana. I've been told to try banana beer. I have not tried it yet.
You've got it.
Looking through all the things. Oh, I need to open up a whole heap of other stuff that I haven't opened yet. You know what? I really should have opened up the phone lines about 5 minutes ago. If you want to call in right now this way, 02-8002-1759, or you can click the link to join us on video over on the other side, and we will bring you up on the screen, which I'll get that ready because I haven't got it ready. Simply click that link below to join us on the Google Hangout, or dial in. The whole lot of them work. The phone lines are open. We can hear you when you call in. If you are in, just start talking, because I don't know if you're in or not, because I don't have that technology. But So what we've kind of, I guess, touched on to summarize briefly, National Broadband Network is now privatized. It has a mission statement effectively to the government to generate them $5 billion per annum when complete. It has to be complete by 2020. Otherwise, the economists will come in and go, oh, we didn't make so much money. It was a waste of time and all this effort that we put into it. So all of a sudden the project will be considered a failure. Fiber to the curb is the preferred option if you can't get fiber to the home. Fiber to the node is where the issues really start to kind of go on, and I would like to touch on some of those with the fact that it's using way more power. The infrastructure is going to go out of date a lot quicker. It's using sealed lead acid batteries. Look that up in your own time to understand just how bad that actually is for the environment. And it's a subpar network connectivity. And as we saw on that map, just moments ago, to see the current state, let alone the state in 3 years of what that speed is going to be. I mean, why? Yeah, crazy. 100 meg in Singapore, 100 meg down, 78 meg up is the average speed. Just insane to see that kind of speed. That number again, if you want to call in, 02 this way, 02-8002-1759. And if you're wondering, yes, we are in a green screen. So I have no idea without looking at the screen of which hand I'm supposed to use to do this. We are talking about the current state of the National Broadband Network. You can also join us via your phone if you have 4G and click on the little Hangout logo and join us that way.
I was going to quickly talk about some of my little hacks that I've been using.
Oh, yeah?
Because I just have absolutely rubbish internet at home. And I've been trying to find it again. I can't find the name of this app that I was using to combine internet connections. Basically just tying together a whole bunch of bonding or teaming, I think it was called. And basically it would be teaming as many connections as you can get your hands on through as many inputs as you've got in your computer to run all of them as a single pipe.
Yes.
And so what I found is the Telstra Air network. I think the way that they might be competing in the future with the NBN.
Yeah. Wasn't that just a kind of technology demonstration that Telstra were doing to try out some different things? I thought that was supposed to be switched off.
No, it's still on.
Okay.
It was free. It was free up until I think it was October or so last year. And then they said it's going to be free until October this year.
Okay.
Or possibly 2018.
Is it free?
Every year they just keep extending it. Are you with Telstra? I think you need an app for it.
Yep.
But once you've got it, what I found is you could just get a $2 Telstra SIM card. You don't even have to put any credit on it. You just need to activate it. Yeah. Install that app so you've got access to Telstra Air with a Telstra ID. You need that. And then just pop your old SIM card back in. I'm with Optus and I get Telstra Air that way.
That's interesting. So what is Telstra Air?
You can spend a few bucks and do this on a couple of phones if you have them. Yeah. And you can hook all of those up to, well, I did it with a couple of different USB network connectors. Then had my Ethernet cable coming from my actual modem into my computer. And I linked all of those together. I had 4 different inputs all tied together so I could get a nice, healthy, maybe 6 megabytes a second at best.
6 megabytes, not 6 megabits. 6 megabytes. So what's that?
Downloading,
I'm trying to think of...
down.
I'm just terrible with math at the moment. So what's that? 48 megabit down, so nearly 50 megabit down.
Yeah, but that was, a whole bunch of 3Gs connected.
Why do you need 50 megabit down?
I just want to download a 10 meg game very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to play it immediately. I'd already paid for it. I didn't just have the old DVD I could pop in there
anymore. Of course. Otherwise, you have to sit there and wait for 2 or 3 days for 10 gigabytes to come down.
That's right.
And it'll drop out and fail. And let's just torrent it, which you can't because they don't really want to torrent it because...
I had a 2-day weekend like I normally do, and I wanted to spend at least one of those playing the game.
Yep. Which totally makes sense. So that's a great... I'd love to know what the name of that service was, but I'm sure... So you would have had to pay for a subscription to use their back end.
That is exactly right. It had a free limit, and by God, I used that free limit. and that covered most of it, and then I only had a few hours left to go.
Wow. I mean, it's just... it's crazy to... apparently people are saying they can't dial in.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. That means I've got a test. You can also just click on that that link there to take you in via video, and you can join us that way. Let me just double check. Because, of course, typical I am running everything by the seat of my pants. Let's see.
Welcome to Reaction Line.
Hey, it's working.
It's that time again where we're getting your...
If you've ever
We'll see.
called, it's so annoying, but it's so fun for me at the same point. So you can join in at number 0280021759. Apparently I have a voicemail message. I have never had this. A news article came out this morning. Oh, I've got other people talking to me. I really should read my messages and not just jabber on like we have been. What is this link that I've just been linked to? Ooh. This looks like it's very interesting. It is 25 minutes, so I'll probably not watch the whole thing. Very good friend of mine, Keith Flannery, has linked me to this, which I will link in the description below. Click. And let's have a quick bo peep at this one. If I can find all the technology to do the thing that I needed to do. There it is. Am I going to hear this? Probably not, because, you know, I'm failing at life sometimes. Here we go. Moving over to the codex. Set as default. I can find all the technology.
Oh,
to do the thing
no!
I needed to do.
Big
There it
delay.
is. Big delay. Okay. What's this thing?
Yeah, talk about fixed wireless.
Oh, fixed wireless. We haven't even touched on that yet.
No, we haven't.
Oh, or what is it? Muster, the satellite.
I've heard a bit about that, but I don't know a great deal about that.
That's a satellite that NBN Co are launching to cover the rest of Australia that can't get
Of course.
fixed wireless or fixed line internet.
Because as long as you get
As long as you get
as long as you
25
get the
meg
minimum of
down,
what we said we'd give you,
yeah, we will get it to you. Oh, that's the
we're
wrong
not
thing.
in trouble. I mean, they're not in trouble.
Crazy. So it is. Look, there is some wonderful things to come out of it. Having a faster internet connection is something that will make things a wonderful thing, but that's not where we are at this point. Don't forget, you can call in that number 0280021759. I should hear you. I look forward to skipping through and watching this presentation on Superloop, because that's going to be very interesting. But I didn't check all the other messages because I didn't do that thing. Click, click, click.
I found the name of the app that I used. It is called Speedify.
Speedify.
What is it? $8.99 a month.
So it's basically a VPN.
That's basically it.
So it does teaming and bonding.
Yep.
Cool. For those of you who want to see what that looks like, here it is.
It makes the internet faster as long as you have more than one source of the internets.
That makes sense.
Or as long as you have internets and not just internet.
Interesting. Cool. That's actually really cool. I wonder what the pricing's like.
Yeah, it was $8.99 a month, $49.99, probably US annually.
Really?
Unless that's changed.
Unlimited data?
Yep.
I need this. Okay, I'm going to leave that tab open. That's awesome. That's the cheapest I've ever seen. Oh, hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? Coupon applied. Right up there. Hang on. I'll bring it
It's
down.
a coupon. So
it's a coupon. 75% off
or
all
yearly
yearly
plans.
plans.
So I remembered seeing that at $49.99. Oh, it was
Oh.
much big. Oh,
It's even cheaper.
there you go. If you want it for a
$4
year.
a month.
I only wanted it for that one game. I
50
expect by
bucks.
the end of the year I'll have the NBN and I won't be
That's
suffering
less-
so much.
It's less than a month of internet. Oh, we've got someone joining in, and I better hopefully click the right buttons to get them in here. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, young Padawan.
It's me, Brian Blessed. I'm joining you on the internet.
Oh, that's terrible. Hang on. I should really test all the technology before I go live. But I
Hello.
didn't. There he is. Hello.
How you going?
That's Keith.
It is.
Hey, Keith. How you going?
Good.
Hey, so
Mate,
what's that link you've
that
sent
vi-
through?
That video, it's quite interesting. If I was you, I'd let it kind of play in the background. It's not just about fixed wireless. It's Bevan Slattery is the guy that started NextTC, Pipe Networks,
Yep.
Superloop. Yeah, basically, I'd let it run in the background because it will give you some really, really good discussion points. It's also about the cost of the CVCs and all the wholesale access.
Should we
Okay.
just be
With
reading the
NBN.
captions?
You can try.
'Cause they can be really bad and really funny sometimes as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good mythical morning. We were talking about Good Mythical Morning before, where they literally sing a song, run it through YouTube's Translate feature to get the captions, and then re-sing the lyrics, and then put them back through YouTube again, transcribe it again using the machine learning, and it just turns into mess. Good fun.
I once developed a chess game, and as we did a promotion for it, a promotional video, and on YouTube, we spoke about the resident grandmasters that we had help us with the AI programming, and that came through as resident grandmas. Are you ready to take them on?
You ready to take on the grandmas? So that video, which I look forward to watching, what's it?
It actually came up in the Australian Network Operators group over the last probably couple of weeks. It's just a presentation.
Okay.
So specifically about the pricing of the NBN and whether, when and whether or not it's going to be a failure. Yeah.
What was your takeaway? What was your takeaway from that, man?
Oh, have a listen to it. I mean, I totally agree with what Bevan's saying there.
Well, what do they say? Yeah. What does he think?
You've put me on the spot.
It's not going to spoil it.
I watched it the other day when it came out. So, yeah, I'm not going to try and remember.
Is NBN Co going to go broke and we're going to have to put more money into it? Because
that's what part of his agreement.
39 billion.
Or not agreement, but thing is that we need to just write down what they've already invested in the NBN Co and stop trying to use it to profit. It's meant to be utility.
Yeah.
You either want the ubiquitous broadband or you want something that's going to make a profit. But in the current way that it's, I guess, being sold to people, it's nobody wants to pay for it. It's too expensive.
Yep.
It's not giving people, cheap, fast access to the internet, which was its, major goal.
Yeah.
It's not really achieving that at all.
Yeah, I think you've just hit on something, and that's something that perfectly sums up the kind of earth-shattering thing that I've had about this tonight. Is that it's supposed? My understanding was the NBN was supposed to be a utility. It's not supposed to be a money-making scheme for the government.
Yeah, but the way that that Stephen Conroy and Kevin Rudd did come up with it on the back of a
napkin,
napkin on a plane, was always to always to make a profit. So maybe that was the wrong approach from the start.
Maybe. Apparently, there's also another article that's just come out as well. Australians ignoring the NBN arrival are having their internet and home phone connection abruptly shut off. Yep. Which, my parents are freaking out about that because we don't. What do you mean by we won't have a fax? We won't have a phone. Yes, my parents are still those kind of people who use a fax. And I had to explain to them, no, that's totally fine. Oh, no, I don't want that to play. It's totally fine. You're already on VoIP. You've already got this. It's fine.
I don't know that word, Adrian.
I don't know. It's called the bat phone, Adrian. It's not the regular phone, the bat phone. Yeah, well, the bat phone will become your regular phone, but it's the bat phone. Which, if anyone knows my
and
phone.
Good luck with your fax.
Hey?
Good luck with your fax.
Yeah.
Still phoning from 1980 something.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on VoIP.
It doesn't work on VoIP at all. Oh, unless you
not properly.
I've actually had it working properly as long as it's G711A. It's a happy camper.
Oh yeah, there is proper fax protocol support T38, but it's
not
much fun to get going. We have a free switch box that does all our faxing for all our clients.
Yep. Just to do fax to email to fax and fax to people.
Yeah, both ways.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to do it. There's some other stuff going on here.
Look at these happy contractors installing the NBN.
Have we got this? Here we go. Happy contractors installing the NBN.
Oh, he doesn't look too happy. He looks like quite a young fella. Do you reckon he's trade qualified?
Do you know what it is?
You can't charge over $1,000 unless you're trade qualified.
Oh,
he's done a 4-year apprenticeship, surely.
He doesn't look like he looks like 17 at the best of times. I will say though, damn it, that's really thrown me for a second. It scares me because if these are the quality of people we have installing the national broadband network, that's not too bad. It's a pretty easy kind of job. But the biggest part about this is this the national insulation scheme all over again? Are we going to get dodgy contractors throughout?
I have a friend who works for an electrical lighting and safety company of some sort. All I know is that for sure is that he stocks products related to the NBN. Like, for example, they sell the telecom pipes that they put the cables through for your regular phone lines, and they've recently started stocking the right size tubes for all your NBN purposes as well. They're the NBN pipes, not the telecom
So he
pipes.
has them. He sells them.
He has them, he sells them, and he has a person who'll rock up and say, I need some of these for a contract we just got. And he'd be like, sorry, mate, we're wholesalers. You need an ABN to get those. And he'd be like, right, I'll be back. And then his mate comes back, and his mate's got an ABN.
Hang on. So they've won the contract without an ABN?
Well, their mate did, and he sent his other mate around to buy what they think they need. And they'll tell my mate what they think they need to install the NBN down the road so they can get some great internet to play Call of Duty or something. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. But my friend will say, no, you need this, not what you've written down on there on the back of your napkin. You actually need this. This is the NBN pipe. Like, no, we need those white ones. We need the telecom ones. And they'll leave with what they think they need, and they'll come back and they'll say, you sold me the wrong thing. And it's all like the fixtures and the way they bend.
The bend radius.
Fibre optic can't bend more than a certain amount.
Yep.
And as you're saying there about, I guess, the insulation, at least fibre optic doesn't catch fire. Because we've seen this before. Trying to get it all slapped in as cheaply as they can, as quickly as they can.
Wow.
Because they've got a deadline.
I'm just lost for words with that. Hey, Keith, you on the NBN yet? Hello? Keith?
Hello.
Are you on the NBN yet in your wonderful neck of the woods?
Of course not. But we have these customers that are. But yeah. So,
No, because that would be
Of course
logical.
not. They're talking to 2 out of 3 people here, Adrian.
I know. It's just, well, that's the statistic, isn't it? It's like very few people have it at the moment.
They're aiming to have 8 million customers. Out of how many Australians are there?
How many Australians? 12 million?
No, we've got more than that.
Have we?
We've got more than 20, surely. How many Australians are we up to?
How many Australians are there in Australia?
That's a good one because we have a lot of expats. 24 million people.
24.
That's about 1 in 3 of us, Adrian. Congratulations. You're one of the lucky few.
We've hit the target. Oh shit. Yeah. That's just it's just disappointing. It's terrible. Well, I mean, look, as I said, the concept of it is great. Hey, Keith,
yeah.
as a IT senior engineer, I had to get the right title. You're a senior engineer, right?
Oh, I don't really care. You can call it whatever you want.
Hey, Keith, as a regular
Play with
dickhead,
computers. Yeah.
plays
We've got
with
10 now.
computers
Yeah.
and com stuff.
and com stuff. How well does VoIP run over wireless?
Depends on latency. Depends on jitter.
Okay.
So we have we use 2 different wholesale wireless ISPs. But yeah, that's all it comes down to. So if there's any interference or jitter, you end up starting to have some problems.
So if we look at
Obviously, jittery voice sounds VoIPy like a bad VoIP call.
pretty much like what we're getting from you at the moment. Are you on your Wi-Fi at the moment with this device?
Oh, I'm on the Wi-Fi on Telstra cable, which is obviously performing really badly.
It got really clear when he said the wireless on Telstra cable, and then it went
and then it's
jerky
again.
What's that?
It's selective AI that Telstra have to optimize their
The
network
brand
throughput.
names. Yeah.
I should switch to 4G because I'm more likely to get a far better experience over that.
Well, it
It's
stayed
exactly
crackly
right.
for 4G. So, yeah.
But obviously, jitter and latency is something that's very concerning if you're going to run a voice service over a fixed wireless. My concerns are, and I kind of breezed over it before, they're looking at so their current wireless deployment, and basically the exercise that they're doing at the moment is to accelerate peak speeds on its fixed wireless networks from 50 megabits to 100 megabits. So its peak speeds on wireless is 50 megabits. Not that that's a worry, but wireless is traditionally way more jittery, especially if you've got, multiple houses connecting to a single endpoint.
Not really. Once you start to get to licensed spectrum and stuff like that, wireless is really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, have you switched to 4G already?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's fixed it. It's like a new day. I can hear you. I thought, oh, here we go. The computer's died again. But I'm like, no, it's a 24-thread Mac Pro. It should be fine. If you haven't caught it, Mac versus PC, that's last week. Yeah, no, okay, fixed wireless. I'll agree with that. If you look at all the broadcast people have been using that for years and it works. And
It
licensed.
just depends. Yeah, just if you're using licensed spectrum, usually not really a problem. It's only when you get congestion in the 2.4 or 5 gig band. And then you end up with really bad latency, really bad jitter.
Yep.
And it just generally doesn't work very well, and people hate it.
Aha. Okay. So I've got a whole heap of people have commented in there as well. Finally, we've all caught up. I'm going to look forward to reading that that Bevan's presentation from Superloop. To check my understanding, Keith, Superloop, which was Pipe Networks.
No, Bevan Slattery started Pipe Networks years and years ago.
Quit that. Started Superloop.
No, he started NextDC. He's also the pipe what's it called, PPC.
Yep.
The international cable. That was all down to good old Bevs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So Superloop, is that that's his current venture?
Yeah. Megaport was the previous one.
Megaport. That's the one I'm getting confused with Pipe Network. Sorry. Megaport. So Megaport was basically a backhaul trunk, effectively, right? Between data centers. Effectively.
Yeah, it's mainly data center to data center connectivity, and then you can spin up virtual cross connects in between different companies, or just different data centers over there. Super duper fabric.
So what kind of, just to give people the idea, so the NBN here that we have is 140. Regular people have somewhere around 5 megabits down. So that's what they're used to. Megaport and now Superloop, we're talking like hundreds of gigabits.
Yeah, so the smallest you can buy you can buy it per megabit basically, but the smallest connection you can get off them is a gig, and then it goes up.
Wow.
And 100 gig.
100 gig, and you can buy that.
It's data center to data center, so
Wow.
it's normally what it's for. It's a fabric to connect different providers and all that sort of stuff.
That's insane. Some other people have thrown some stuff in here at the moment. Is the NBN more than theoretical? I thought the Prime Minister thought we had fast enough internet already, which is sad but true based on the comments that were coming out.
Wasn't his napkin.
And Michael Berger, sorry, that was Brad Fumiano who's commented on that one, which is very true and poignant. Michael Berger has also just commented that he got his NBN rollout email on Dulwich Hill.
What?
And he thinks it's like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka.
I hope that means you're just getting it, that it's telling you that it's on its way.
Yeah.
I'm closer to Hurlston Park, and mine was actually, I think, a couple of months earlier than it said there, unless they've updated it, and it's gone. It's further forward, as it does every now and then. Back and forward.
Back and forward.
We'll get it eventually.
Let me check if there's any other comments there. There's not. There's no any comments there. And is there any comments there? So yeah, look, I wish we had 25 minutes just to watch that presentation, but I have linked it into the chats for people to have a look at, because I think that'll be very, very interesting.
It certainly is.
Like
from a network point of view, because the other point is that there is the NBN itself isn't slow. It's usually the wholesale providers that are connecting to it.
Yeah.
So that there actually isn't any problems with the speed of the NBN itself.
Yeah.
It's the RSPs that are connecting to it and what bandwidth they're buying and the price that they have to pay to buy the bandwidth on the NBN.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
crazy.
I'll watch the whole thing when I get home. I lied.
Yep.
Because I don't have that much data on my 4G.
It's all right. You can watch it.
I can watch it in 144p.
Yeah, 144p. You're totally fine. Or I can download it here and give it to you, and away you go.
Good old SneakerNet.
Sorry, I used SneakerNet at work the other day because someone tried to send me a 34 meg touch panel file, and I'm like, hey, why don't you just SneakerNet it to me? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm like, put it on a USB stick and bring it over. He's like, oh, that's awesome. Sneak it in. Here we go. Fiber to the node. Oh, I should bring this up on the screen. Where are we? This is from Delimiter. Fiber to the node would do 60 megabits Turnbull. See if I can extract something very, very quickly.
Would or will?
Would.
We've got clients on the VDSL2 that are getting full 100 meg or 80 meg.
I've seen it in businesses that I've worked for. Absolutely.
And it works fine?
No, not a problem. Yeah, not a problem. So for voice, that sort of stuff, yeah.
Here we go. Here is, I'm going to paraphrase. Here is Turnbull's actual
Here
comment.
is the honourables.
The honourable.
The honourable.
Apparently, you can't tell the difference between 50 to 100 megabits because we'll never need it that fast. Never need it that fast.
Just let me buffer that for a second.
Yeah. Let's just think about this for just...
Does it sound like I've got a chip on my shoulder?
Oh, who's this? Brad, hello.
All right, Jude.
Now, have you joined in via phone?
I have.
Fantastic. That means I need to adjust a few things like so. And you should be much better level. Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Mate, very well.
Slightly
Still not
louder.
there. Let's see if I can make you even more louder.
Give us another test.
I thought you'd have some sort of auto gate there where everyone just tripped in.
Oh, I do, but it's I have to tweak it all. So you've obviously got a bit of a chip on your shoulder. Why have you got a
Just
chip
a
on your
little
shoulder
bit.
about the NBN?
Mainly around the fact that, as you know, I do a whole lot of media work, and I find myself, if I ever have to upload content, needing to drive out somewhere where I can find the best level of 4G wireless, set up my tiny little mini modem and upload video that way to, whatever content providers. I mean, I've had to call Channel 9 for news and say, just hang on a minute, give me 10 minutes to drive somewhere, I can send you footage. Like we're in 1987. But
Wow.
yes, it's fantastic. But and everything's adopted, just whatever. But they recently said, we've got, a wireless home router now, would be much better, because we had ADSL2 here, which was horrendous. And I thought, okay, good idea. Whatever, NBN's coming, like Santa Claus. And so we got that. What they didn't tell us, and my fault, I didn't really read it right through it, is that they're limiting. It's better for two reasons. The wireless is better because it's cheaper and it's more consistent, for the moment anyway, until more people get on it, I'm sure. But they're limiting the speeds to ADSL2 speeds, so it's not really any faster.
Hang on,
It's
hang
more
on.
consistent.
Sorry, so hang on. Are you got fiber to the node coming to your place?
I think eventually, yes. But at the moment, you can buy like a 4G home router that gives you, I think it's 200 gigabyte a month, and it's only recently new. And so I'm like, oh, that's not, I can survive with that, you know what I mean? But then it actually limits it to, I think, depending on your area, it's either 6 down and 1 up or 12 down and 1 up.
Wow, because they
Something like
can't, they obviously can't, they haven't got the
Don't have
backhaul
the
in there. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's the
So-
best.
Telstra are actually offering a similar thing at the moment for failover, and use some sort of Telstra gateway for failover where they're blocking YouTube and any streaming services. So when your ADSL goes down, you still get internet, but it drops all your streaming services or all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
Would that be in
mean.
from your hub, like from everyone in your local area, or
No. Yeah, so from your modem at home. So
Just
basically,
your modem
when
at
your
home, okay.
ADSL or cable or NBN drops out, it switches over to 4G. But
they
when
can't
it's
do
on
it
that
behind
4G,
the modem, of course.
yeah, correct. When you're behind the modem, there's no streaming media, no Netflix for you, no Stan.
Oh, so no Netflix and chill tonight. I'm so sorry. What a shame. It's
I don't-
all chill, no Netflix.
I don't own
I'm
a
surprised
television,
that
and I don't have
our telcos are
Netflix, but I
trying
watch
to-
a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
My housemate uploads a lot of stuff to YouTube. We can't do both at the same time.
No,
I have to watch stuff on 4G while she's uploading stuff to YouTube for like, say, 10 hours at a time, because we're an ADSL2.
Sorry, Brad, you were saying as well?
I was just going to say, what a surprise for our telco companies to offer a sort of service. But And I'm the same. So, like when I am at a location or some of the places I work that have, 30, 50, 100 megabit up and down links, I've like stored up all the things I need to upload and just send them off.
I
Get them done while I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, I've often thought about the premise of potentially buying a lot of these properties or apartments right next to places that will not be getting the NBN for many years, and creating my own backhaul on-cell service.
I was thinking of that.
Just
Yeah, I didn't know if we'd touch on it, but like, is there this window where we can exploit housing values
well, if
Not
from not currently
While-
having the NBN or
while
having
you
it
can,
before it's everywhere?
Fiber's good.
sorry, what was that, Keith?
TPG actually tried to do that, but
Yep.
particularly in CBD areas where they're rolling out their own fiber product,
Yep.
They tried to leverage the housing
so
market. Yeah.
the four.
Oh, we've lost Keith thanks to not having the NBN. I'll wait till he comes back.
The plane's gone over.
And it's got Wi-Fi on the plane. It just sucked all the internet up.
I received a notification from Telstra today about NBN is coming trying to offer me a plan, so it must be getting here soon.
Yeah, I saw your post. Was that you at Dulwich Hill?
No.
No, that wasn't me, but
Oh,
we're getting all that sort of stuff, so I would imagine. The guys actually, they came, a couple of guys, it was funny that you were talking about who are installing it, but a couple of guys came who, looked like they could have worked for anyone really. Nice fellas, but I'm not really sure they knew exactly what they were doing, and
Wow.
mounted a box on the outside, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're just doing from here to the street. The cable's not actually here yet. I'm like, okay.
Yep. No, that's I've had that experience before as well. My favourite part was when Elle and I first got the NBN in our apartment in Carlingford, and it didn't work. And they're like, "Oh, there's something wrong." I'm like, "Yeah, look, these are the lights that are flashing on it." I'd looked up the error codes for it. It meant that it didn't have sync. The little fly lead was dead. And the guy comes along with like the cheapest 30-cent fiber tester I've ever seen in my life, and goes, "Oh yeah, it's passing light." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not working." He's like, "Oh, hang on, let's just try another one." Replaced it. It's like, "Oh, it works now." It's like, hey, but imagine if he went to someone else's place with this crappy little tester and went, "Oh, look, it works." No, it's something wrong. I have to go back and then create another service call. Like, just scary. Actually, something you should look into while I think of it, Brad, is that Speedify thing that Thomas was talking about before. Basically, $50 a month, and it'll bond all your connections. That's actually really cheap.
$50 a year.
A year, sorry, $50 a year, and it'll bond all your internet connections.
Oh, sorry, what was that called? I must have missed
It's called Speedify, and I've linked you to.
Okay.
It's a bonding app you'll use there back end to tie all your internet connections into one.
It's obviously a hell of a lot cheaper than something like Vipranet or Peplink or any of the other hardware-based.
I was saying earlier, I bought a whole bunch of Telstra $2 SIMs and tied 3 Telstra Air connections into one, and it was not too bad for free.
Gee, that is impressive. Well, I carry a few, and I don't know how much time you've got, Adrian, but if you can give me a minute.
Yeah.
I've tied in a couple, and I've used a couple of those bond units, the Teradek units that have got, 6 or 7 cards in them, whatever they carry for a couple of jobs where I've had to stream or whatever. So use them, been quite effective. But I carry probably 4 different mobile devices on 3 different carriers. So that there's always options depending on what's going on. And so I've been looking for ways to sort of tie some of those together as well, because, you get the shared output, then much better reliability and all that sort of things when you're working on jobs. And that's why the bonding unit's been so good. The one thing that I have found, though, we used a Teradek unit at a job in Echuca 3 months ago that allowed you to, it could connect wirelessly, but you could also then
use this
share
backhaul.
You could tether a combination of phones to it. And it was actually quite funny because I had my van there and we were only just getting mobile reception and getting out was a real issue. So in the end, we put up massive rods on top of the van, taped the phones to the top of the rods and tethered them all back to the Teradek unit And between the 3 or 4 phones and the big wireless transmitter we had back to Telstra, we almost got enough signal to get out most of the time.
Wow.
It was a rather interesting looking device.
Yeah, I'll have an offline conversation with you as well about ways around that. We'll have an offline conversation about that. I've got some cool things up my sleeve that you'll really like.
No, that'd be excellent.
That if I
was just
tell
one of those
lots
things
of
where-
people about it, that they will start doing it, and then it will no longer be effective. So I'll tell you offline. Because you're in Victoria, you can't touch my towers. It's fine.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And if I'm in your area, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, obviously you'll probably more than likely be on the job, but it's like, hey, Brad, which area are you in? What cell towers are you pointing towards?
That's right. The only couple of times that we will converse strongly is, are you in this area doing a job, or are you bidding on this item? They'll be the two things.
Actually, very, very true. I'll tell you about that as well, Thomas, offline, because again, too many people bidding on things. I can't get things cheap and can't do things like this show because of all the stuff that I've bought is mostly off there. But I think, look, the potential is that the NBN will be a wonderful thing. Obviously we need to kind of track it and see how it's going, but at the moment it seems to be tracking pretty bloody poorly. And it's a shame it's not being sold as a utility first and foremost. Because just through that alone...
Of the people you've been talking to, and I'm sorry I did jump in a bit late today just because I've surprisingly been working. Because I don't care what it costs.
Yeah.
And like as long as you get good speed and we can get out, but are people having real issues even once it's installed? Because that will, I might jump off a bridge if that's happening.
Yeah, I touch wood. I haven't had too many problems, but I can say that my speeds have not been as guaranteed. The upload speeds have been. Oh, we've got someone who's just joined back in. Who have we got there?
It's me again.
Oh, it's Keith again. My speeds have been... Upload speeds have been great. Like I pay for 40 meg up. I've just found out that I can get 100, which is tempting.
Do it.
Do it.
Yep.
I don't need it. 40 megs is fine.
How much?
For now.
What's the 100?
Was... Hang on, I'll have to find it now.
100.
Who's your provider?
Internode. But I think it was SkyMesh that was doing the 100. Oh, yeah. Oh, they do, sorry. 200. 2.4 terabytes for $340 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not super cheap. That's
Yeah,
anytime
let's get
data.
Nexus.
32 terabytes off peak, though.
Okay.
What do they consider off peak? Oh, hang on a
2 till 3
second.
a.m.
If you exceed your normal data allowance during the billing period, your peak information, blah, 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 will drop to 256 by 256 kilobytes.
That's been the rule since the beginning of time.
You
That's
go back to 1986.
hello 86. Oh wow, but yeah, they're the only people that I was aware of that did 200 on the NBN as per.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I've said before I grew up in a town called Bega, talking about going back to the early 90s, to download an 8 megabyte patch for Total Annihilation by Cave Dog. And that would take all day.
But hey, at least you had cheese to keep you busy. Sorry, low blow.
I love cheese.
Bigger cheese or
And
other
now
cheese?
Vegemite.
Vegemite. Thank you,
Yes.
Bega.
Oh.
Dick Smith is proud of you, Bega.
Vegemite and cheese on a toasted sandwich is too good.
Bega Cheese owns Vegemite now.
What?
They
Yeah, that's
bought
what
it
I was
back.
saying.
What? That's
Truly
next week's
Aussie
topic.
again.
No.
Taking back Aussie brands with Dick
Really?
Smith.
Deadly serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
See if you can get,
Bought it off Kraft
see
or
if you can get Dick
Mondelez.
Smith on.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That's fantastic. That's the
Mind
best.
blown.
It's funny. Every week I tend to get my mind blown by something. This is completely off topic, and fantastic. That's wonderful. That is the best thing I've heard all week.
Wonder if
Vegemite.
they've got the NBN. I bet you they're happy little Vegemite.
Happy little Vegemite. Oh, thank you. It's a dad joke completed for the night. We have met the quotient of dad jokes for the night. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where the NBN's going, as I was saying. But I don't know. I mean, I would love to be, and this is what Brad was kind of hearkening to just before, is, doesn't matter what it costs, to have access full stop, even if it costs you $3,000 to install, who cares? Because
I'd pay it.
you'd have it, you wouldn't buy a how. I wanted, yeah, no, I can. I think I can say it.
Oh, you wouldn't steal a handbag thing? Or you wouldn't?
No, you wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a movie. Still on all the DVDs. No,
Steal my neighbour's Wi-Fi. It's not secured.
oh no, I play. No, I'm the kind of person. I'm a bit more white hat than that. I'll log into their Wi-Fi, put a password on it, put the password on their door, and then go, "Hey guys, here's how you change your password." And then actually, usually I hack. I used to, when I was in an apartment building, I'd hack everyone else's wireless routers so that I'd put them on the right channel so they wouldn't interfere with me. It's like, move away from my channels. You're making noise.
So you can bond them.
You can bond. I could have. That would have been awesome. No, there is a famous story of me using Yasaga and a wireless pineapple with a big, huge Wi-Fi dish that I bought because of reasons. Pointed it at the local hotel, which I won't say where it was, and literally made everyone connect to it, because basically Yasaga goes, "Hey, I see you're looking for your home network, Mr. Phone." The phone goes, "Yes, my home network is Big Pond 01652A. Are you Big Pond 01265A?" My thing would go, "Yes,
I appear to be.
I am. You can connect." "Oh, we don't need to do the formal handshake thing. We're connected. It's fine." So then I was man in the middle attacking them and making all their images blurry. So I just point this thing and turn it on and watch everyone go to show their phone to people, and then pull the phone backwards and forwards from their face, going,
all the images.
All the images are blurry. And usually see them end on that drink and go home.
Nah, keep
You have
drinking
too much
through
time
it.
on your hands, you know that, don't you?
I used to have too much time on my hands. But where I was driving to with this whole diverted topic was that one of the criteria, I had one criteria for the house that Elle and I bought. Two. We could afford it. And it's half the price of people on the same salary we're seeing buy houses, which is scary. And B, it had to have fibre to the home broadband. That was the two criteria we set. Elle is an amazing person because she found a house that had it.
That you could afford. That's
that we could afford.
Yeah.
It wasn't like $1 million plus.
Yep.
So it's.
I just wish the NBN was out when I
I've said
bought
the
my
same.
place.
Yeah.
Don't we? Don't 2/3 of us all?
Well, hang on. Is it now 3/4?
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. They're aiming for. Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, 3/4 of this conversation.
Out of the current pool.
Which is probably what it's going to end up being. But yeah, look, I think we've kind of hit the time limit, gents. But thank you so much for joining in and calling through. It's been an interesting conversation hearing about whole pubs built, painted Vodafone red with the Vodafone logo or Vodacom logo on the side.
They do that in PNG as well. The two different carriers, and you can't call between them.
Oh no, really?
Well, that's the main point of if you have a look at what they were saying before. But basically, yeah, you end up having to have a phone on each network because you can't call between the two networks.
Wow.
Is that why they come out of those phones with 2 SIM cards?
Yeah, well, that's it. Yep.
You're
Half the
kidding.
time,
That's why they brought it out.
There's lots of places that are like that, especially in the developing world.
We're back to Uganda again.
That's right. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the
Oh,
same. Yeah.
Jesus. That is wow. Yeah, it's just crazy. Sorry, I'm also trying to multitask, which I can't do because I'm a male. Let's be honest. Well, I think we should wrap it up there because it is 10:30 and I've got to get up in the morning. We've all got to get up and go to work in the morning. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, Thomas. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Brad, for joining in. But thank you for coming over and making the trek.
Oh,
Don't leave yet, guys. I'll take an offline conversation after this. Thank you for coming and joining us. Thank you for all your continued phone support and all the fun stuff you've had to say about everything from pineapple on pizza through smashed avocado ruining the Australian housing market and through where we are today with the National Broadband Network. So thank you so much for that. I have no soundboard to play an applause sound effect.
that's
So
okay.
I'll just
Can I have a
clap.
final word?
You most certainly can.
Children are our future. Australia, children are our future. And the NBN may have been a poorly conceived child. It's currently an awkward teenager, but by the time it's in its 20s, hopefully it'll be something useful. And it's going to make Australia great, or at least a little bit better.
That is you've thought about that. That is wonderful. And with that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week on Reaction Zone. Ciao.